What is the one thing that's going to contribute the most to you getting a raise or promotion? Stay tuned to find out. Hey, I'm Sam with Systems of Impact, your place for growth-minded professionals looking to find their six-figure careers. I'm sure you were like me, where it came across as if you were doing the best you could, but it was also fairly aimless. You were going and doing all these different things, and you were being told to do all these different things, and you felt like you were really doing them well, but then you would walk into the performance review and you would come to find out that you weren't being recognized for the job that you were doing, or you weren't getting the raise or the promotion that you were hoping for. You just came out of that experience feeling discouraged, and it really put you down lower. So what is a solution to this? The number one solution that you can do when it comes to getting a raise or promotion, and this is something that I just ended up figuring out by trial and error, is communication. I know that sounds really simple or simplistic. Doesn't mean that's easy, but from a perspective of only one thing, if I could boil everything down to just one thing, and it was not necessarily a silver bullet per se, but if you could go through and look at the raise and the promotions, or even a new position in general, when you're going through this process, communication is your number one ally. Communication as a whole is still something I still struggle with, even being a product manager, where you're trying to figure out different ways to communicate with different audiences and what is going to be the key piece for those particular audiences. So communication doesn't just mean talking or meetings or email or presentations or chat or etc. Communication, although it encompasses all of those things, is more of a strategy. So Sam, what does that actually mean? How can I actually leverage communication? I'm glad you asked, because this is where you really start to dig into the minutia of it. So for example, when you're discussing your expectations with your boss as an example, or your wants or your goals or your aspirations, how you communicate those to your boss is going to be very different than how you potentially communicate to your boss's boss, or people that are, side to you or near you, or peers. When you go through that, if nobody knows what you want, nobody can really help you. And so from a communication standpoint, when you're going through and you're walking through your expectations with your boss as an example, and you're saying, I want to get this level of promotion, and I want to do it because I want these things. Now, how do you help me get there? The communication style that you use with your boss is more of, how can I help you get to where you're going? And so you can also help me get to where I'm going. It's a very win-win proposition. And so when you're coming at it from a communication strategy, you're wanting to think in terms of high level. How do you go through this process of communicating with these people that is going to get you the results you want? So if you're looking at it from a raise perspective, let's say you want to go ahead and you go through and you want to talk with your boss. With that, you go ahead and you talk with your boss and you say, hey, I want to get to, X% of a raise, let's say 35%. If you're trying to go after that level of raise, now you're starting to create a dialogue with your boss of how to actually do that, because they're going to have more information or potentially a career path that's going to help you get there. So for example, if you wanted to get 35%, and let's say your boss says, okay, great, I know you want to get a raise of 35% and you want to be able to do, XYZ. Great. A raise in your particular position is not going to garner you a level of raise for that thing. Okay, great. Now you know that a raise isn't on the table to get that level, that you need to start tackling a promotion. And now from a promotion standpoint, you can start to target, okay, what promotion do I need to get to hit that percentage? And now you start to communicate with your boss of, if you want that 35% level raise, you're going to have to get this level of a promotion. Okay, great. Now from a communication standpoint, you're also starting to talk into, okay, here's the level of raise, here's the promotion that I'll need to hit that level of a raise. Now, what skills do I need to acquire to get that promotion? Because chances are you're not at a level that is going to garner that particular promotion in most cases. So in this particular instance, as you're going through and you're building this strategy, you're talking with your boss, you're seeing what that promotion will look like. You're seeing what skill set you need to acquire to get that level. Then you start to branch out from there and you start to garner those connections that you need. You start to see and learn those different skills that you need to acquire. And you start to build into that particular person that needs to be at that level for that promotion. So when I say communication is the number one thing, I truly do mean it, because everything else starts with communication. If you don't communicate with anybody, you'll never know what you need to do to hit that next level. From a high performer standpoint, it's one of those things to where if you don't ask for help, nobody's ever going to help you. And when nobody helps you, you're kind of left to your own devices. So think of it in terms of like mentorship. Mentorship shows you what that next olive branch is, so that way you can see exactly what you need to hit that particular level. If you're finding value in today's video, make sure to hit that like button. And I want to hear from you. How can you start communicating with your boss in a more effective way that's going to start laying the groundwork for where you actually want to go? Make sure to put those in the comments below. I appreciate you taking some time to walk through and finding out exactly what that one thing is that is going to help you get that raise or promotion. If you do have any questions, make sure to put those in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video.